laces had fallen off at the beginning of the song. And I had no idea. And I'm singing, little bitty place and country place. Ain't nothing much to see. Ain't nothing much to see. Bare boobs, that's what I'm saying. It was humiliating. But the worst part is that it was an all-ages show. So we had all of the children in the front row, and I'm singing to them with my boobs out. My ponytails were covering it, but everyone said it was like perfect. You'd like swoop your ponytail and move to the other side and be like, whoa, whoa, like almost. And I told all the parents, I'm so sorry. But you're the one that brought your kids to the burlesque show anyway, so there you go, everybody. But I booked a 7-year-old's birthday party out of it, so that's true.
That's an awesome 7-year-old.
I grew up loving the vintage style. I always had admiration for the old pinup models and the burlesque scene in general, but it was never something that I would ever even imagine that I would like actually get involved with. It was like that very back of your mind wish, you know, like in your deepest, darkest, wildest dreams. So I had the opportunity. I was booking bands and managing bands and booking shows at a local venue, and I had the idea that I was going to put on this burlesque show with some of my friends, and I was going to challenge myself to take my shirt off in front of people. And especially locally, that was like a pretty big challenge for me because I was a mom, like locally. And I did it, and it was awesome. And people laughed at my story that I told on stage, and most importantly, I felt amazing when it was over because I had all of a sudden like owned my sexuality. Like that belonged to me. I made the decision to do that. I had full control over it, and I got the reaction that I wanted out of people that I was looking for. It was like a huge power trip to be able to do that just for myself. So I never stopped. I just never stopped with it. I continued. We made the Kountry Kittens. My friends started getting involved, and at that time, it was just like anyone who wanted to get involved. If you had a body issue, if you also were abused, if you had a mean boyfriend who put you down all the time. We worked with tons and tons of girls over the last 7 years who needed a reason to own their bodies and feel good about themselves. And that's been our goal and our main fire under our butts from the very beginning. So naturally, last year, we just decided to do it in a weekend. I've been fortunate enough to grow up here at the resort, and now I work here, so I have the control to be able to allow these sorts of things to happen. So we decided to do a workshop where women can open up and learn a little bit more about themselves and feel more comfortable and be around like-minded women.
I own a venue that has burlesque dancers in it, and so for the past 2 years I've been coming to this retreat so that I can see what it is that is involved in the performances.
I work full-time and I have 3 kids. I'm a single mom, and I just wanted to do something different that I'd never done before. And a good way to get away from every day. So I've always enjoyed watching burlesque, but I've never done it before.
I work in a very professional world where I'm kind of the oddball, and I really want to get myself involved with other women in their support of what they're doing and feeling the support back.
A lot of the workshops that I go to are inside a room all day long, and I find that very stifling. So this particular retreat where I get to see dragonflies and the crows, the murder of crows, come in the morning and then go home at night, along with the energy and the dancing and the good food, I'm having a great time.
That's the build, like it's coming, and bam. I was started on a competitive dance team when I was 10 and finished when I was 19, but I'm still very involved in teaching at the dance studio, and then I'm a performer with the Kountry Kittens, so burlesque is something that I'm really passionate about, and so my role here is just to work with the girls about stage presence and how to feel comfortable moving your body and body awareness, and then just how to present yourself on stage. And slow, 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 slow. Keep moving the whole time. Make sure everything is moving. Everything is moving. Good. I can see you every time we pass the window, and you look like a bunch of sexy ladies. So let's try that again. Ready?
Sabrina's dance class was actually really enlightening with the whole lines and angles, and it really made me feel a lot more connected with who I was as an individual and being able to portray my body in a way I didn't know I could before, just by simple things like moving an arm to a different direction or moving a leg out just a little bit further. It extended and accentuated, and I never thought I would see myself looking that way. And there's pictures taken, and I was flabbergasted that I looked pretty, like doing something and not awkward or clumsy.
I really love to see people try new things as far as dance go. It like totally puts them outside of their bubble, and you know, I like to see them having fun. You know, they kind of laugh when they're doing certain moves, but then I tell them, like, go ahead and laugh at yourself when you do it, because the more obnoxious you are, the better it's gonna be. And when they let go is when they really come alive, and like that's something that I really, really enjoy. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bring your arms up. And butt roll. Ooh. And that is my class. Yay. And you're gonna make circles with your hips here. All the way around. We're gonna go the other way. Too.
My role here at the Women's Retreat was a role of fitness, inspired workouts that allow you to have fun instead of like dread going to the gym. I personally do not go to a gym. I'm not interested in walking on a treadmill, and I'm not interested in having anybody check me out while I sweat.
They did a stretching class, which yesterday morning, which actually was a little overwhelming. I'm not used to stretching and letting my body relax, and I actually cramped up in the middle of it, fell over, and had to regain my posture.
The booty pop was fun.
Then faster, ready? No. Just keep going, try, you can do it.
I got a little uncomfortable during like the twerking bit, because I've never done that before, and I always thought it was odd, and I never could have seen myself doing it. I always thought I'd look like the dork doing it, but after getting into it and having such supportive classmates and teachers and such, it was actually a lot of fun.
When you're shaking your butt, you're having a great time, and it's fun to do. You feel sexy, which is a great thing as a woman to feel.
Watching people be able to move in a way that I was not able to move. There were times I just stood there with the look on my face of, this isn't happening. I ain't got this down. That's okay. I can do other things, but I cannot move like that.
I missed the whole, the beginning where everybody would have felt self-conscious, and by the time I came in, everybody was just into it, so I just jumped into.
At first I was feeling really uncomfortable. Really like, I'm the oldest lady in this group, and this is so not my thing, and I'm never gonna get it. But what I did is I realized is that it was about the workout, and it was about accentuating what we had.
I really wanted to inspire women to not worry about what they look like when they dance, because the twerk is all about jiggle. The more you have, the better it works, you know? So it's so fun to share that and to do it in an environment where you don't feel like prey.
First, I'm going to talk to you about what musical theater is. This is musical theater by Miss Savvy 101. The workshops that I taught are Savvy Social Media Skills and a Broadway Baby class, where I taught the women a very cute Fosse number to Sweet Charity's Big Spender. Spend a little time with me. Pose. Pose. Beautiful.
People are laughing. Other people, you realize other people aren't able to move as the instructor can, and you're like, whatever, and you just go with it.
I really got to see the other movements in other women. I got to feel the movements in myself and know that this really wasn't about doing it somebody else's way. I could incorporate what I already knew, also come up to the times, and get a great workout.
We call these jazz hands. All right? And then hands are like this, okay, very showgirl, and then they go roll, okay. I was very surprised that for non-dancers, the women here at the retreat caught on extremely fast. Not only did they catch on extremely fast, but they were super enthusiastic, which makes it so much fun for me. That's perfect. Very showgirl. You guys look great. All right, here we go from the beginning. The minute you walked in the joint, I could see you were a man of distinction, a real big spender, good looking, so refined. So wouldn't you like to know what's going on in my mind? So let me get right to the point.
It was really fun to watch us afterwards and see, you know, we really were synchronized. I mean, in my head, I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm getting this all wrong, but then I saw it on camera and it really didn't look that bad.
So you want to think about your social media almost like your LinkedIn profile for your job.
I love Miss Savvy's social media class. I learned a lot from her class, and she also inspired me and got me really excited to get more involved with just promoting what we do.
They showed us all the things that we could do to utilize our tools that are in the modern era. Is really helpful because I've always been sort of an old school, not really wanting to conform. I just recently got an Instagram just because I wanted to see what all the fuss was about.
I've always worked with photographers. I've always done all those sorts of things, but it wasn't until I started utilizing Instagram and all of that that it created awareness with a whole nother base of fans. A show that I was in got canceled on Saturday. No pay, no contracts. It was a bust. It was awful. And man, I wanted to go on my blogging site and I just wanted to just say all kinds of stuff, but you have to remember, no matter how upset or how passionate you are, you have to be professional. And once you put it out there on the internet, it's out there, right? So you have to be really, really careful with that.
She taught us all about all the different social media outlets that are out there right now and the smart ways to utilize them instead of just being like, look at me.
I like to engage my followers, and I love to give them a glimpse in the fabulous life of me. So that's just how that is.
She loves to take off her clothes. So it's a good thing she wears a lot, right? There'd be bright colors, lots of glitter, lots of feathers, and always a smile on her face. So she'd be happy, strong, energetic, and maybe to some people that's sexy. I think it's sexy.
This is something that I've done for the past few years, both workshops, and I also do this pretty much with any girl when they come in to start working with us. And it's kind of like just a dissection of who you want to be on stage. I am more of like a super goofball, and the wind accidentally blows my dress. There's one skit we do where I do a backflip right out of my dress and land on my butt in my pasties. You know, there's just different things. That's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get people to go, holy shit! You know, like burst in laughter and be like, did that just happen? That's what I'm trying. So everyone has different. So it might seem like a weird question, but that's really the whole point. You're trying to, portray someone. Who is that person?
I've never really come up with one that I might want to utilize as a character yet. That's something that I'm probably going to have to build on as an individual and find my own little alter ego.
Is this a tribute to someone? Is it a mockery of maybe someone in pop culture? Or is this character you in your wildest fantasies times 1,000?
She is myself times a million. Everything that I wish I had the courage to be, it comes out on stage. Some of the things I wrote down are flirty, seductive, and really fun. My movements are snake-like and smooth. And if I had to blow a kiss, I would point at someone, make eye contact, and blow it, and wave and wink.
How would you brush your hair out of your eyes if you were this person? Which seems like such a weird question. So like, well, if I'm on stage, I'm just gonna get my hair out of my eyes. But if my character is kind of a wild rebel, rowdy drunk, so she would really swing her hair back and get ready to go. Miss Polyurethane in the Kountry Kittens is a prissy little bitch, so she would be going like this and getting it out of her way. And then we have Miss Sabrina Marie, who's the glamorous pinup, who would be very glamorous.
She's really, really tough, but she wants to be really feminine. So she can be too bold because she's putting herself out in man's world. And so a lot of the times when she blows a kiss, it would probably almost be like a giant F you. It'd be an insult. Like, if I blew you a kiss, hell's coming your way.
It was so hard to do. It was so hard to pen down all the things that I've been through. Because it was pretty much admitting that I allowed, as a strong, independent female, I allowed that to go on. I allowed 10 years of an abusive marriage. I allowed these friends. I allowed to be broken down. But it was the most empowering thing I've ever done.
The Bombshells Against Bullying, that was really wonderful to have that sort of source that you can look into and find all of these women that are empowering and not defeating one another, and they're not conquering each other with anger, but they're uplifting each other and supporting each other, and I think that's really beautiful.
You don't even realize until it's really far along how bad it is. So many women, we all live in this bubble of being bullied professionally, privately, personally, and yet nobody wants to open up about it. So I think that was a really eye-opening and emotional experience for a lot of us.
Every one of us has gone through our own thing. You know, it might be different, but everyone has, and there's someone else that's gone through the same thing. And just knowing that you can find it, and you'll have that support system.
The way they speak down to you, like you're stupid or you're nothing, or they want to talk to your dad or your boyfriend because they obviously are smarter than you. And, I've been like searching for this one-liner that I could use for like all, you know, and I always forget what I'm gonna say when it comes to that time where I just sit there and go, did you really just say that to me? And I just sit there and take it, and I hate that about myself.
There could be somebody that's this large, but if their confidence is this big, or someone can be 6 foot tall woman, but if it shows. Yeah. Very much body language, absolutely.
I've never been in an abusive relationship, but I have been abused myself with drugs and alcohol for a very, very long time. And I'm on a journey right now to discover why did I do that? And something that you said was really hard for me to swallow, and that was that I allowed those things to happen. And just like you kind of allow that gentleman to treat you that way. It fucking sucks to hear that.
You know, it sucks to
it's true.
hear you're number one. It's much like the airplane kind of a situation. You're the one that puts the mask on first before your children. You're the one that's in control of your own life, not any other person. And it's hard. It's hard to like, because especially as women, we are the caretakers. We are the ones that put everyone else first before our own self. So any time that you, and it's a hard practice, and it took me a while to like start to put myself first. Think of that airplane thing that you put on your own mask before you put on anybody else's.
When I first started burlesque, I had just had my second daughter, and I was newly divorced, and I hated to be naked. I was terrified to be naked. I was scared to be naked. I never had been anywhere close to, being somewhat revealed in public. I took showers with my husband and stuff and would hardly ever show him my chest. I was very self-conscious.
I think that you get to acceptance with your own body through understanding who you are It wasn't until this age that I am fully comfortable in my skin, and it exudes through the projects that I do, and I got here through practice.
Growing up, watching television, I never thought it would be part of my life. I never thought I could do it. I was a pasty redhead, I was too overweight, I was too short, so all I was ever going to do was watch somebody else do that magic.
It's been a struggle to really accept myself. My body changed a lot when I was pregnant, and especially having 3. I think I was very young when I had the first 2, and I kind of bounced back, but then after the 3rd one, the extra didn't go away. So, you know, it's a big struggle in my head, trying to tell myself that I look good.
I had been sexually abused for 16 years by my real father. And when I was 17, I sent him to prison. It was a big, long journey, and it was something devastating for me because I never felt like I owned my sexuality. I never felt like it was important or it mattered, my body, for any other reason besides for somebody else's pleasure.
I'm always just thinking of myself as not feminine, and I've always been told a lot that I'm very masculine, and a lot of people hang out with me because I'm masculine, and that sort of put a damper on my feminine side and made me feel like I wasn't able to put on a dress and do my hair pretty, so I always just like threw on a hat and some shorts and went from there.
A lot of the women that I worked with would mention things like, aren't you a little old to be getting your ear pierced again? Or, you know, aren't you a little old to be getting, you know, your hair dyed those funny colors?
Something I hear a lot is, that looks really good on you, but I couldn't pull that off. And it's like, yes, you could. Why couldn't you? And it's just because they have self-doubt, or they just feel uncomfortable. They feel like people look at them weird.
I try to not bring my body image issues out so that my daughter hears them, especially because I don't want her thinking someday, oh, you know, my mom never thought her body was good enough after having me, and I don't want her to have those same issues.
I've always been very capable of handling every situation, but I don't necessarily do it with a feminine aspect. And I think, well, being the fact that I am a female, it seems to be expected, and it's not something that I do well.
I always used to get, or I still do get the comment of I shouldn't be self-conscious, or I shouldn't have body issues, or I shouldn't feel this way or that, and it's kind of almost disrespectfully down-talking because everybody has things that they don't like about themselves.
You're given this fabulous, curvy, beautiful body, and for you to look in the mirror every day and go, this is not what I want, or, you know, this is not who I believe myself to be, then, you know, you're just destroying yourself.
As I started having children, you know, it was like, oh my gosh, now I have stretch marks and wider hips, and I've gained a lot of weight, and just something again about, for me, the feminine energy that I've been working on for a really long time. About the time I turned 40, it was like, these stretch marks are actually, they're like tattoos.
I'm just very content. And I think that it takes, like I said, it takes hard work to get to that where I am right now. But I hope that, you know, with my curves, confidence, and my sweet personality, people will see that they can be that way too. You just have to let your inner self shine through, and it doesn't come naturally. It does take hard work.
Everybody doesn't like a certain part of your body. Everyone has some kind of issue that they're going to deal with. Like, we're women, that has been ingrained in us from day one. So to be able to just get everyone together and be like, fuck it, you know, just be yourself. This is awesome. Enjoy yourself, celebrate yourself, decorate yourself. tell stories, you know, with your body. Use your humor. Your sense of humor is sexy. Your confidence is sexy. It's not just like this one thing, like what you look like on a picture. That isn't what, it's not what you're about.
Okay, here we go.
I'm already flat-toned.
Oh, there's a step down.
You got it.
The purpose of this exercise is just to continue the theme of the weekend, kind of break your boundaries and open yourself up and kind of let go and trust someone else.
This trust walk was really nice, mainly because of how long it went. It went for a really long time, so it really challenged all aspects of my equilibrium and the trust, and it kind of took me beyond.
Every year when we do the workshop, and even when we're just doing like rehearsals, if I have a new group of girls, I always blindfold all the girls and leave one or two with their eyes open to say the eyes is the whole group. It really helps them like focus inside and listen to each other at the same time.
My hands are starting to sweat.
Yeah, my hands are always
Stepping.
Slow down!
It was really nice to have everybody so connected, and at one point, like, the fear of just falling or having any worry of something that would happen just melted off, and I felt like everybody was really connected with communication.
We take them through a kind of a little treacherous little hike, and it's scary for them, it's foreign, no one really knows what they're doing. And then at the end, they get to take their blindfold off and look at the big set of stairs that they just hiked down and see what they accomplished.
The whole time I thought we were walking on this very narrow path. Okay, maybe hips width. And it turned out we were walking on these big, wide areas. So I was kind of thinking small, but it was very, very expansive. So that was kind of a message to me of in the burlesque and performing that even though I can kind of get small and maybe be intimidated sometimes, but that I'm really in an expansive area.
Towards the end, like, we all started moving faster with each other and more fluently, and it felt more like we were all in control of each other rather than each of us working as an independent cog in the machine.
I'm just going for it.
All right, everyone pick up place.
Myself, everybody. A lot of these girls, when they're getting involved with burlesque, it's foreign to them. They have no idea what they're doing. They're taking a stab in the dark. They don't really know what they're doing. All they have is just like their thoughts of what they want and like the voices from like the people that are surrounding them.
It sounded like it was right there. I was like, oh, I'm gonna fall in. We're right on the edge. I knew it.
My fear was stepping on somebody bad enough to get them to fall.
And do a domino.
Right. And so short stepping it, and then like I'd get comfortable, and then I'd flat tire again. Like I wasn't worried about me getting flat tired. That wasn't gonna happen. But
All right, you want to see what you did?
Thank you.
yeah.
All right, we'll go back and see where you walked. When they take the blindfold off, you're like, wow, we just did that, like blind, like, yeah, girl power. And they're all high-fiving each other. And it's kind of a neat thing. It's kind of a metaphor, you know.
At the end here, I felt like it was a really, really lovely environment, and everybody felt really good about who they were and where they were and what they were doing, you know. So I hope that they can just learn to be happy, because I hope with themselves and with whatever their life brings them, because that's ultimately that's like, I don't know, the meaning of life, I guess.
Nobody has a perfect body here, and I think that it's nice to see that I'm not the only one who maybe wants to shake her booty, but you know, would maybe before feel like, oh, you know, I don't look good.
Now I feel like I could go home and experiment with my hair and some makeup some more and maybe find a new side to me that I haven't uncovered before, which is really nice.
Everyone deserves their chance in the spotlight. Everyone deserves that, and everyone deserves to be accepted, and the people that aren't going to like it are the ones that don't need to be in your life, and the people that will, bring them on.
We're all tatted. We all have interesting hair. We all have styles that are just outside this normality that society says is normal. And I have found so much more love and support than I ever thought I would.
people say like, oh, I just want to do this because if I could just show one person, you know, what it would mean to do this, or if I can make one person feel this, then I know I made a difference, or I know I did that. And me and the kittens, we can honestly say like there's hundreds of women who have told us that we have like changed what they go through on a day-to-day basis just because they've learned a little confidence, or they've met someone else who have gone through something similar and know that like there's a bright end at the end of the tunnel, you know. So, you know, as sucky as it all was, it was a gift for me, my life and the way I was raised, and it was awful, but it's been able to like really have a big old domino effect. So, God dang it. So I'm happy about that, and I'm happy camp's over because I'm so tired. I'm sad to see everybody go, but I'm gonna sleep so hard tonight, and I'm gonna eat because I've hardly eaten anything. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4. Woo! Woo! Oh shit! No. Woo! I'm so sorry. You're only connected for 2 more counts after that. I know.